Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Brother Sean Brumfield, and I got Brother Ryan Brown with me.
Hey, everybody.
And we got a special little episode here for you. I got two guests here. I got my beautiful wife, Lissa.
Hello.
And my mother-in-law, Tricia.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today?
Doing okay.
Good, pretty good.
Yeah, a little nervous.
Excited, yeah, very
A little nervous. Yeah.
No, guys, we got a special episode. We are wanting to promote not just ministry, but also, we live life with the Christian perspective. And today we have Tricia's mother-in-law, and she has a business, Keeka's Closet. And I'd like to just kind of look around and get her perspective as what it's like being a Christian business owner, and have some questions for her. And just as, if you're thinking about doing a business, here's just some insights to what is all involved.
Yeah, for sure. When she gets to set up, she asks me all the time, Sister Tricia does, about if she could set up during revivals. And I've gotten out to where I tell evangelists we're going to put a new sign out in the church door or on the churchyard. And it says the Free Holiness Church of God. And then underneath it, and Keeka's Closet Boutique. And it's only open when that light is on, kind of like, the Krispy Kreme donut. It's fresh, come and get
donuts.
it. Yeah. But we are glad to be able to promote Christian businesses, small businesses especially. Yeah. So I got one question. How'd you come up with Keeka's Closet?
That's always a good question. So I have these lovely little creatures in my life that are my great nieces and nephews, and my name's Tricia, obviously, and they couldn't say it. It came out Keeka. So when I was trying to come up with a name for the business, I went through several things, and it just kept coming back to Keeka's Closet.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened.
It's definitely cute and something to put on the side. It's a lot better than just kind of trying to come up with a name that's,
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the questions you get asked a lot.
I do, yeah. Who's Keeka? I'm Keeka. Keeka's me. I am Keeka.
We know how that goes. For the longest time, when I married Becca, I always heard about Aunt Ehe. And so she come up to me, and Becca's like, we're going to go see my Aunt Jenny. And I'm like, who's Aunt Jenny? I've never met her before. No, that's Ehe. I know who. Yeah. That's not Jenny. It's Ehe. So I get that. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So on the business front, what was the catalyst, the beginning point that got you into this business?
Well, in all honesty, I had I won't say a shopping addiction, but I would watch some of the other boutiques online, and, they would do their lives. I would sit and watch. And my husband at one point said, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just looking, shopping, maybe." He's like, "Are you buying stuff?" No, I don't always buy stuff. I just like to see, some of the stuff. And he finally said, "Well, why aren't you doing that?" And I looked at him and I went, "Well, because I didn't know that was an option."
And I remember growing up, you saying multiple just throughout the years, "Man, I'd love to do that.
I'd love to do that.
I would love to do
Always
that.
loved to do that."
Yeah.
So that was kind of the starting point, and I just kind of started trying to research it. Brother Ryan's dad, Brother Randy, helped me get my license, and we kind of went from there. So
Okay. Well, tell the listeners here what you sell. What is the product?
I sell women's and some children's modest clothing, skirts, tops, dresses. I have my own line of skirts. I have a seamstress that works for me and makes skirts specifically in a couple of different lengths. No slits, just comfortable, stretchy dress skirts. And we've got some exciting things coming this year. We're going to do some dresses. We've got some children's clothes. She's made a few children's dresses, as well as some youth and toddler skirts that are all in my line. And then there are other things that I purchase from other vendors and sell. But I do have my own line of clothing as well.
That's awesome.
it's pretty funny because as we're talking here, I can look in my own vivid mind here, and I can see how clothing from my wife's closet slowly changed to Keeka's Closet Boutique.
Yes.
I think I've made the joke that I am part owner of whatever. If she ever put stock out there, I've already got some stock in the company. But so what was the process like to get started in the business world?
It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Like I said, I knew, because you always have to collect sales tax, right? So that's your first step. You have to get a vendor's license so that you can, collect that and then pay it to the state, as well as, you've got to come up with a name. And then from there, it's just a matter of you start building your inventory, creating a logo, however you're going to do it, and all of your marketing materials. And then I did not start out with the seamstress. That I started, purchasing things and I actually had someone come up to me and offer, would I be interested in something like that? And of course I jumped on it because I literally was praying that something like that would happen. So that came not long after I got started. This person approached me, offered to do this, and we come up with some items, some skirts, some materials, and we just started going from there. And they are still with me working.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see them come in with stuff. They always have little.
Yes.
I don't call them suitcases or whatever. Them 31 or whatever they're called.
Yes.
Purses. With that being said, it's not. We kind of have a little script here we're trying to go, but out of all of that, what was the most difficult part of that entire process? Because some stuff come easy, some stuff is a little bit harder, and so you kind of got to press through some things. So
probably the inventory part. It took me a little bit of time to figure out how to find some of the other vendors and find some things that I liked. Shopping, believe it or not, is difficult because you can get a variety, obviously, from one end of the spectrum to the other. So trying to find that great, modest middle, of things that you want to promote and sell is difficult sometimes to find.
Well, shopping for modest clothes, period. Now
Exactly.
is very hard.
yeah, and you got to worry about quality too.
And there's
Yeah.
and I try to be careful to buy most things that are made in the USA. Obviously some not all things can be, but
Right.
they're
I think as far as quality, I feel like maybe it's just the Christian community, but we feel like just because somebody puts out a product and they're Christian, we have to buy from them without even thinking about the quality. Because I went to some places that said they were Christian businesses and stuff like that, and I wouldn't recommend going back. So I think I think Scripture alone tells us that we're supposed to put in our best effort into those things, to be a good steward, and that goes into whatever we sell. It's got to be good product, good things that we put out there. Because if not, the world's going to get it. And I hate to see it go that way, but. Being able to have that perception and being able to put in all that hard work to get it. And I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So what was the response from the church?
It's been amazing. I will say, and not just because you're sitting here, but my pastor and his wife have been my number one supporters. Absolutely. And all of the ladies here at the church, it's funny because sometimes my husband will be sitting in service and going, did you dress that one? Did you dress that one? Is that one of yours? Is that one of yours?
Every service is a Keeka's Closet fashion show almost.
Yeah.
It is. And I post pictures sometimes because there will be services where 2, 3 or more of us will be in the same outfit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, picture time, let's go. And I'll post it. It's like, didn't mean to, but here we all are.
It's pretty funny.
It is funny.
We come in and we'll see the clothes lined up on the coat rack, and I'll see people, and I tease my wife, and she'll say, "I want to try." She's got a standing thing with Sister Tricia. I want to take these home and try them, and then I'll bring back what doesn't fit me right, and then I'll pay you for what I keep. Yep. And I was like, man, I'm going broke in this whole deal. But you can, at any given time, you can look in our church and you can say, I think that's a Keeka's closet outfit there, and that's a Keeka's closet outfit there. So,
and you've not just had a response within our church, but it seems
No,
like you've
it's-
had a good response
Yes.
outside of it.
Sister Lavinia Lakes recommended me for a ladies retreat a couple years ago, and I've been twice. Planning on going back again this year, and they have been awesome to work with. Those ladies, it's Lighthouse Ladies Retreat. I think it's Lighthouse, yes, over in Indiana with Sister Beverly Nunn, and they are extremely easy to work with and receptive, and they show up and show out, and and it's great. It's great.
What is the nerves like when you get set up for something like that?
Well, you never know what you're going into, first of all. So you never know how much space you're going to have, what you're going to be working with, or, this, that, and the other. So you just try to prepare. I've tried to take more hanging racks than anything, because it's a lot easier to, flip through something on a rack than it is to pick it up off a table and, hold it up, look at it, put it down, worry about folding it, all that. So it's easier to work with racks, but it's, you try to keep in mind, if you know what kind of space you're working with, then you can kind of plan. But sometimes you just have no idea how big of an area you're going to be working with. So you just kind of take what you can. I put out as much as I can. Sometimes I leave it, and what I can't get out, I leave it in the bin, shove it under the table, and then if I have to pull it out and say, "Wait a minute, I think I got that size under here," if they're looking for something. So and the ladies are really easy to work with. They're like, "Oh, okay, we'll work with that."
I'm sure that there's a gratefulness for the need. I'm sure.
Yes, yeah. They're always checking out. They're like, "Oh, do you have a website? Do you have which I do. I have a website. I have an email. I have all of those things. So they not only can shop with me there when they're whatever the pop-up shop or whatever is, they can find me online at www.keekascloset.com, and there you go, and they can check it out there, and I ship within just a day or so, and so they usually can get it pretty quick and easy.
Yeah, but with that being said, you're setting up this month, aren't you, somewhere?
I am finally managed to find the right person, and we are going to be part of the Stop and Shop that is down in Pigeon Forge on the we'll actually be open on the 26th, 27th and 28th. We are down there at the same time as the PFYC. Mm-hmm. We will be over at the Music Road Convention Center Hotel. Mm-hmm. And there are several of us. I'm not the only one. There are several vendors that will be over there, and we're looking forward to it. I know it's going to be a busy thing.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
It's going to be great. I'm excited.
So, what is the dream for Keeka's Closet? Is it always online, or what's the?
It is for now. I also have a little building in my backyard that my husband lovingly built me. I have a she shed, we call it, and it is set up with all of my stuff. And people have called me just on a whim and said, "Can I stop? I need this. I need to find this. I'm going here. I need to find an outfit. I need something." And they will, make an appointment and just come by. Or sometimes I'll have open houses and just have sales and let folks come in and shop and all of that. But my ultimate dream would be I do work a full-time job, but I would love to quit and just go full-time all the time. I would love a brick and mortar and just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would be really good at it because, like I said, growing up, Mom was always the better dressed one. I mean, if anyone complimented my outfit, and still, if anyone compliments my outfit, it's something that Mom has given me, or it's from Keeka's Closet. I mean, you've always
I would
wanted,
like to dress
you're
people.
My wife
so
doesn't
good at
buy
it.
any clothes anymore.
I don't.
She's just a walking ad.
Yeah. Yeah. Walking Keeka's
Even
Closet
we'll
there.
be going to the grocery store and like the cashier.
I've
the
gotten
women will
stopped
look at us
many
and
times.
Say, "Oh, where did you get that skirt?" And Lissa's like,
And
"Let
she
me
has-
tell you about somebody."
Yeah, she has business cards that I hand out.
Yep.
And it's good quality too. Going back to that, the ones that your precious pearls.
And Precious Pearls
line
is
the skirts,
ladies' skirts.
and
yes.
the quality's very good. I play the drums, so sitting there at the drums, you can't really sit ladylike. I mean, let's be honest, and they hold up very well. And I wash my skirts after every use. Not everyone does that. I wash my skirts after every time, and they still wear good.
Yeah, a lot of people say that it still feels brand new.
Yeah,
when they
it's
wash
good
it and
quality.
stuff. So it is good quality, folks.
So the only complaint that I have through the whole thing, which is what I've said from the start, because we do buy Keeka's Closet, but I come out with nothing in this whole deal.
Yeah.
I told her we'd have more stock in the company if there was some
Some
men
suits and
clothing
ties.
thrown in there somewhere.
Hankies. At least hankies.
I have looked several times, and the only thing stopping me is probably space.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah.
But I keep looking and keep toying with the idea that so don't hold it out. I may eventually have some men's items as well. So
for anybody who is considering starting, what is some of the top advice that you would give somebody?
make sure you have a good chunk of investing money for product, whether if you have a seamstress that you can work with that's going to make things for you. When you do that, you're looking at, like, I buy all of the materials that I want. I pick the fabrics. I decide what I want, if it's a solid, if it's a print, what color it is, whatever. And then I decide, what sizes to make. And my seamstress actually does the labor. So I'm, you're buying labor and you're buying materials at that point. So just, making sure that you have the resources to fund that, whether you're working with a seamstress or you're purchasing from another vendor. So that's a good chunk of what, you're going to spend initially. Mm-hmm. And that's not going to be necessarily very quickly returned to you.
Right.
Right.
So it's going to have to be, a little bit of money that you can kind of let go for a little bit. And then, you'll start seeing it coming back at some point. So that's probably the biggest. It
is a common misconception for people who think, I'm going to start my own business. Mm-hmm. And I'll put my money into it, but I'm going to get my money back almost instantly. My wife was part of a business venture, and it was months before we ever started seeing. And then that revenue was very little compared to, and being how we were able to not have to take that money. We would say, we're not going to take it. We're going to take what she paid and we're going to invest it back into the company because you have to grow it. Yep. And I've seen so many people, I've seen boutique, people get in some of these boutique. I think Lululemon was one of them that people were like diving into. Yeah. And they would spend hundreds upon hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to fill a room in their house and tank. And then next thing you know, you're like on these yard sale sites saying, I need to make something back, So that is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the Bible says what man doesn't count the costs before he builds a building. That's kind of one of the things you got to really, you just can't make a building off of a sure whim and, expect it to go somewhere. But I do appreciate you coming on the show and sharing
thanks
the
for having me
here.
So we gave out that she's going to be at the, what do you call it?
It's the Stop and Shop.
Okay, I was going to say sit and shop.
You just sit on a bench and they bring your product. You're like, swipe right.
I'm going to find a seat.
It's the Stop and Shop down at the Music Road Convention Center in Pigeon Forge. And we'll be there the 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Yeah. And if you want to see any of her stuff before that, you can check her out online at www.keekascloset.com. Or I'll give you a plug. We're having Revival starting the 16th, and I will most certainly be set up then. We start Revival on the 16th. It's a Sunday night. We go to that Friday. I believe it's the 21st or somewhere around in there. Brother John Cordell. So I'm sure we'll see some Keeka's Closet set up in the back room.
For sure.
So
some people throughout the
My
week
seamstress is working on new skirts. So yeah.
See it before anybody else does.
That's right.
There you go.
Need an Easter outfit?
No, but I thank everybody for listening, and check out the website, see if there's something on there. I know you'll find that you'll be happy with the product that's there.
They also make good Christmas gifts, by the way, or birthday gifts.
Yeah, keep that in the back of your mind.
Speak from experience.
Yeah.
But also, if you are at PFYC, come and see me and Brother Ryan. We're going to be there every service, and we'd love to be able to meet some of you guys and get to hear some feedback on what you think about the show. You can check us out, pulpitatthepew@gmail.com. You can also look us up at Facebook. Thanks for tuning in.